Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 12th of April. So we're looking at the euro dollar first, and well, is it time for it to come back to its monthly pivot? It put a shooting star in yesterday, but at the moment the trend is on this 4-hourly, still high lows, high highs, and it's got the potential to push on again at the moment. Whatever it does, as it gets towards the high, it'll give me a divergence, so showing some sort of signs of weakness. And we've seen this sort of coming in on the hourly basis, where it actually broke the original trend line yesterday evening on the news FOMC minutes. It's held on pretty well since then, and well, looks like it could yet push up back, maybe let's say to at least to the highs at this stage. Of course, if it does start rolling over, that shooting star from the daily perspective starts sort of working in, I'm really probably looking towards the sort of break of this sort of trend line across the lows here, break of these lows here, see if it runs off back towards that. As I said, the monthly pivot, that sort of cluster of moving averages and pivots sitting there around about the 120, 123.20 area. So we'll see how we start off this morning. As I said, I was still erring because of the direction there to the bullish side. Pound is a pretty similar picture in terms of what it did. Yesterday it ran into the resistance point from this trend line across the highs here, didn't quite make it. This morning again though, it's pushing, and it may well again push on from a 4-hourly point of view. High lows, high highs, it's bullish from that perspective. Again, looking at the RSI, if it starts pushing up towards those highs, it will be diverging. So again, a sign of a bit of weakness there. And again, yesterday it chops for most of the day, all of the day. Has some trends between in it, but pretty choppy day overall. And well, again, we've got this sort of a trend line across the lows here. We could be looking at, still got an untouched weekly pivot. I think that might be a big ask at the moment, but certainly we could see it coming down towards the daily S1, S2 area, maybe that 60-minute 100 sort of point if it starts breaking that way. If it can get some momentum back into the move to the upside, well, as I said, I'd be looking at yesterday's highs, just be a bit warier regarding that if it's diverging at the time. But of course, on that bigger time frame, it can diverge for a while once the price pushes on. Okay, dollar yen, well, seeing on this chart the signs of it selling off. Let's just go back to bigger picture, and again it's been chopping it, but it got held around that 107 area. It's still pivotal on this market. Its ranges are tight. Trading wise, it's not really on my radar as much at the moment as I'd like it to be. I was looking at it with a high lows, high highs on this 4-hourly picture up until last week, and then it's gone choppy. If anything, it looks like, well, we could see a break of the weekly pivot and maybe further downside, but the option plays on it have been big. It's made it a difficult one to do anything too much with, because it's too range bound. So as much as I'm looking at this now and it looks like it may roll, I don't think I'm going to be in it necessarily. Aussie dollar, that's all I could say. The slowest slow thing ever. Look at that bar yesterday. You could tell I had been in a little long position, and well, it's still there. It's barely moved. It's tightened up here. The only benefit out of this consolidation, well, we may get a decent shove from it, but it's not looking overly promising at the moment. There was some divergence into the highs through into yesterday afternoon, and then it chopped around for some more. I was still looking to see if it ran back into that trend line, the 50 moving average that's sitting just underneath it. Seeing we've got a reaction from that, but at the moment, as I say, it's looking weak from where it is. It may even break yesterday's lows. 60-minute point of view is not really giving us any clearer picture here either. It's just, as I said, it's just chopping on this sort of picture. maybe even get through this whole cluster of moving averages that are sitting there, it could yet go for the upside. Finally, the Canadian dollar. Well, oil shoved up quite a few dollars this week. It's slowed its path a little bit now. I was looking at it again yesterday and thinking it's not looking particularly good. It did have a good stretch in the afternoon, but it's for most of the time it's been sitting in this sort of tight sideward range, the tightest range, and it is once again back on the 4-hourly point of view. There was a bit of divergence kicking in there, so maybe it will see some sort of retracement, a bit more, certainly consolidation, if not a retracement. Just look at oil at the moment. Oil had been shoving up. You see it's back up to $67. It's taken out the prior highs there, and it's now taken completely out the this year's highs. So yesterday, so pushing up towards $68. And with the rhetoric in the Middle East there continuing, well, perhaps it could even run up to 70 or more. So overall, it does look like, as I said, there's some potential for some of these markets, but there's also weakness in many of them. So we'll have to tread carefully this morning. News-wise today, there's not a great deal out. First thing this morning, we have had a MPC member speaking. That's happened. Side of that, we've got the ECB monetary policy minutes coming out at 12:30 now. I'm very aware of these days, so that may create some volatility around 12:30. Side of that, it's pretty low data, low rated data in my book. We've got Carney speaking at 8 p.m. this evening, which probably certainly won't affect our normal daytime trading. So that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.